Alright, Wes here with Restore Your Jordans and More. I have another project today. I am going to do some more work on my infrared cements. Told you before in other videos how this was all gummy down here. Turned it from gummy to gray, gummy looking yellow to a gray. So that worked out really well in the icebox. So then I put it back in the icebox and did on the white area. See if I could whiten that up anymore. See if any of that was just going to be able to just be whitened up real fast. So it's as far as it's going to get. So now we are going to look at putting some white paint on the midsole areas to clear that up. So make sure you come back and watch what I did here. Alright, so we are back. So like I said, we're going to do some painting today. So a couple things we're going to need for this project is going to be some paint. We have some white paint. We also have the acrylic finisher we're going to use when we're done. Some paintbrush. I got a paintbrush set, and I'm going to probably use the number 10 and the 2 out of that set. Got some rubbing alcohol is what we're going to take off any of the stuff that's on there. Some Q-tips, painter's tape, and an X-Acto knife so we can cut off anything we need to cut off. So basically that's going to be what we're going to be using. If I find something else, I'll put it down in the description of what we're going to use. We finish taping off anything we don't want to get the paint on, so we can go to the next step. This is very tedious, but needs to be done. Alright, we have the tape on both shoes, on both up above the white and below the white midsole. So now I'm just going to go through, have a decent sized fingernail, just pushing in, making any creases that I need to so I can get the tape just in there, just enough. If not, you'd get some kind of either a toothpick or something to just push the tape back exactly how far you want it to go into the indentions and creases and stuff like that. So that's all I'm doing right now. Trying to get as little extra paint on anything that I don't want painted. So then I'd have to go back and retouch with a different color. So I'm trying to do this one time. Probably not going to happen. Again, I'm going to put this out there. This is going to be my first painting exercise. So hopefully it works out okay. I think I'm doing pretty good with the tape so far, so I think we're going to go with it. Okay, as I said, the tape part is done, so we're going to now put our rubbing alcohol in a cap. Using our Q-tip, I'll be rubbing it along the midsoles to take any of the extra paint that's on there off, enough to where we can apply our own paint and it goes and it adheres. If you're wondering why I'm using rubbing alcohol instead of acetone, I was told that if you use it on too old of a shoe, it will mess up the material. So using the rubbing alcohol is better for these. I'm not sure if it's the accuracy on this old of a model. This was 2014. Other people that I've heard from and talked to said they used older shoes, but I'm just going to go with what they did and see if it works for mine. Alright guys, I made a small error, but I still can work with what I did already. But when I was doing the salon care on it before to make the bottoms gray, when I put the paint on them, when I used the salon care to put on the white, I put the paint up here, and I was trying to be lazy, and instead of just taking it off and going to the next step, well, when I was putting on the rubbing alcohol, you gotta also remember it also makes the tape on the stickiness of the tape not stick as well. So you may have to reapply some places or whatever after the tape dries to make sure that you get all those creases in those areas so that it's when you start painting, none of that goes up into the sole area or to the bottoms of the midsoles. So yes, I should have probably done, taken all the tape off first, did the rubbing alcohol, or if you're going to use a deglazer, whatever type you're using. That way, after it dries, you put the tape on, it'll stick. The adhesive will stick better. But it's still working with what I have so far. If I find out that it's going to start coming undone again, maybe I'll just take that whole piece off and put another piece on before I get to that area. But right now, we're going to continue on with, now we're going to start painting. So again, I'm going to use, I have a number 10 paintbrush. So we're going to start with that little coats, small light coats. It goes down in multiple layers. You don't just try to put one heavy thick layer on at once. So painting, here we go. Okay, so far they've been done one time around, each one of them. You let them dry for a few minutes, probably up to 20 minutes. But I'm actually going to take the blow dryer and dry them off real quick so I can get started on the second coat. So for this part, because it's probably going to be a little noisy, I'm probably going to do the talking now, and then when I start it, there'll be no volume. So it's dry already. I'm going to let this one continue to sit while I hit the other one. I like it. What was that? A minute, maybe 2 minutes. Put that to the side. I'm going to go to number 2. It doesn't use a lot of paint, so that's a good thing. Okay, we are done with both of them. We did 3 solid coats on both shoes. The white looks pretty good. Now we're going to the Angelus acrylic finisher. So I'm going to do 2 coats, letting it dry, and then we'll let it sit for like a day, at least a day. First coat on that one's done. Back to the blow dryer, dry this off before I put another coat. It's ready for round 2. They're both done. 3 coats of paint, dried, and then I put 2 coats of the acrylic finisher. So first coat dried, second coat's on. It'll be done and dry, probably in a few minutes, but it says on the bottle, I'll read it to you. Where'd it go? Apply 1 or 2 light coats and allow to dry for about 24 hours. So that's what we're going to do. I'll come back in 24 hours. Alright, we are done. We did some painting on the midsoles, put some acrylic finish on it. I was going to do the Krylon matte finish, but I decided to do the acrylic finisher. But I think they're done. So we're going to try to take off this tape, and hopefully it comes off without any problems, and we don't have to do too much touch up. So here we go. Not too bad. Again, same as the other one. A couple spots on the black area. I'm gonna have to touch that up there. So, but other than that, that's not bad. Let's get this bottom piece off as well. Not bad. A couple spots on the red. That actually came out real good. Very nice, very nice. All in all, not bad. But like I said, there's some touch-ups to do. So to get those little pieces off of the paint, I'm going to use the little rubbing alcohol. For FYI, I thought I'd tell you also, like if I just went over there and started doing this and started taking the rubbing alcohol and started going like this, it's going to drip down on the other paint and start taking it back off. So I haven't done the black part yet already anyway, so it doesn't matter, because there's a couple places that I gotta get where from previous, where I guess when the person was scuffing their shoes from behind had some white marks from the from the soles already. So I'm gonna have to take that stuff off anyway. But at least if you're putting the rubbing alcohol on with your shoe like this, up like almost upside down, at least you can get really close to that line, pretty much like fine line, and then if it drips, it'll come downward instead of onto where the paint is that you just painted. So it's upside down, yes, it's going downward. Gravity works in your favor in this one. So that's how I'm doing it. Not exactly sure if that's how it's supposed to be done, but that's how I see it would work, and it's working so far. So that's what I'm going with. If you get too close, that's fine. Just take your towel, dab it off. Make sure you clean off that Q-tip before you go back into another spot. Touch something else the wrong way, you're going to get paint the other way. So again, I don't know if you can see it there, a little bit of paint there. So I'm going to go right up to it. I know, like most of the time when you're painting stuff, you paint from the top down, but I'm not doing that. I was working on the high spots for the bottoms, going up to the midsoles, going upward. I'll be painting the black stuff later, but it's looking really good right now. So again, that just came out nice. It was a little bit of touch up, but it's looking good. Again, once you get that where it looks like a white, really saturated paint, it's good enough to where you can just wipe it off and it's gone. But like I said, there's a couple scuff spots from like when the person was walking, they must have hit on the heel. So I got a couple spots there, a couple spots on this one. That's not from the paint, that's from being scuffed by the other shoe. Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, this one's a little trickier because there's a little lip on the red. Worst case scenario, if too much comes off, I can go back in with a touch up to point with the number 2 brush and just touch up the small spots where it came back off. But that's why you want to do all this taping off properly. This way you don't have to do all this corrections. Which again, it's not a whole lot on this one, so I did pretty good, especially for being my first time. Alright, I did all the touch-ups. We got the white midsole part done. It looks great. It came out really good. For my being my first time painting, doing this kind of thing on shoes, I painted before but not on shoes, it didn't turn out bad at all. A little bit of touch-ups here and there. I even took off the scrapes and bumps from the other shoes off the back of the black heel. So that's the next step of what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint the black part on the heel area and see where we go from there. But everything else, it looks really good and I'm happy so far. Alright guys, unfortunately I had a setback here, so I continued on my project with the 2s, going to the next step where, like I was telling you before, I was going to do the black area, scraped and scrubbed, whatever. So the footage corrupted, so it came up too bad. I'm not going to put that part in here, but I can at least show you where I was and what I did and put some before and after so you could still see what I did, just didn't see the process. So again, that was, I don't know if you remember or if you saw it before, but they had the white scuffs on the back from somebody kicking the shoes. So I took all the stuff off with the acetone, put the black paint on it, and then the finisher, and that's how it came out. So it's looking pretty good. These shoes are looking really nice. So the next step I probably will try to do is maybe something on the upper areas with the black, but so far with the actual midsoles and that black line there, it looks good. So before and afters are coming up now. So alright, you'll also notice in the before and after pictures that I also hit the toe box areas. I had some creases you'll see that they came out real nice. Okay, so I hope you like the before and after pictures. That's where my projects are going. I try to do as much as I can, make them look as good as I can. So yes, I've been getting some questions here and there. Are my shoes for sale? You know, probably it depends on which ones you ask about. But yeah, they are for sale. So I'm just trying to get them upgraded so they can look a lot better, even if I just wear them for myself. But sure, if people want to buy them, we can come up with some kind of a price. Everything in the world is for sale at some point. But just, if you like the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get the next video when it's coming out. Leave a comment, tell me if there's something you'd like to see. Ask me a question if there's something about shoes that you don't know. Maybe I can answer the question for you. If I can't, I will get you the answer. So that's where we are. I mean, I'm learning a lot. I've been doing this for about 2 years, so it's a learning in process. But I'm getting pretty good at what I'm doing, so I'm pretty happy with myself. It's summertime. Got a lot of projects going on outside too, so there may be some of those restoration projects coming up, along with the shoe stuff coming. As always, I appreciate your support. Peace.